Okay, today is August 28th, 2021. Okay, current physique update. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this is my fitness transformation update, week 33. So last week, as you guys saw, I was in Madison, Wisconsin for the weekend, hanging out, enjoying the Capitol, the food, the beer, really fun place. So nothing was typical last week as far as weigh-ins or whatnot, but I did make a video just to kind of keep a weekly log going. As of last Thursday morning, I weighed 260 ish, and so I think I would have been on track to probably get close to where I was before at 257. So far week 29 has been my best weigh-in of this journey here at 257 pounds. Week 30 I went up like 0.6 pounds. Week 31 a little bit more, 260.8, and now here we are week 33 and I weigh 265.8. So I've gained 5 pounds. This past week, I'll be honest, I kind of just threw in the towel. I worked out not once. Matter of fact, I worked out this morning, but that was it. Like, I didn't do any resistance training this week. I normally walk 3 laps around my block every day. It's 3.3 miles total. It's a 1.1 mile a lap. So I usually do that every day. I did a total of 3 laps the entire week. From a food perspective, I prepped my food just like I planned to, and I pretty much ate whatever I wanted. I had fast food. I ate carb foods at home. Basically, I didn't follow my diet. I don't I don't have a good explanation other than, like a lot of you, I'm a stress eater. So like in the past few months, my life has been a little bit of a stressful thing, and I just don't handle it always the best. I mean, it spills over into like things like stress eating and like wanting to give up on things, you know. And obviously, I don't want to give up on this. Getting into shape and getting healthy and everything else has been a big driving force for me in the past like 6 months, and that's why I've been doing these videos. So I'm not throwing in the towel or anything like that. I just had a bad week, and so I'm sure a lot of you could probably relate to that. I know I'm not the only person out there that's a stress eater or a stress, drinker or whatever you get into. I like beer, so sometimes you get home and it's one of those I just need a beer days, or I just want to eat that burrito or whatever it is. We all got this extra goodness here from one thing or another. So in my case, it's food and craft beer. Those are my vices, and those are the things that I tend to turn to whenever I'm stressed out or whatever, and then like most people, I also like enjoy food and beverage. So, it's definitely a social thing for me. So that's why I don't want to give it up throughout my journey. That's why I do like my weekends where I get to eat what I want. And the goal is to try to get to where I'm moderating myself enough on the weekends with food and beer that I'm not like, counteracting all the good stuff I'm doing during the week. So anyway, long story short, I'm a stress eater. And that's exactly what I did this week. I was stressed out. I just said, hell with it. I still have like 3 or 4 steaks in my fridge that I prepared, that I hadn't eaten this week because I was like just over it. I just kind of was like, I'm done with it for this week. And as a result, I gained weight, 265.8. It's definitely a lot of water weight because this actually, I expected to be heavier than this, to be quite honest with you. Over a weekend of eating of all the carbs and sodium, it's not uncommon for me to gain like 10 to 15 pounds. So if I were to drop 10 pounds right now, I'd be at my best weight currently. But who knows what what it would be, because like I said, I did go off track this week. I ate whatever I wanted, but I didn't go like crazy. It's not like I went like Old Country Buffet every day. I just ate foods that were not part of the meal plan, and I did eat like fast food a couple days. Basically, I just had carb-rich foods, but not necessarily in huge amounts, So I don't know what my calories would have looked like for the week or any given day. I just know that I just didn't pick the right foods at all for my goals. So anyway, I do have a plan going forward. I decided, since right now life is a little bit stressful and I lack free time, what I'm going to do is go back to simple dieting. I've been trying to I don't know, not get fancy, but I've been doing more steak, and I've done food videos where I sous vide I show you how I grind up my own ground beef out of Eye of Round, and I've been making Eye of Round steaks. And Eye of Round steaks, you have to sous vide them for like minimum 12 hours, otherwise they're too tough to eat. So there's a big time gap right there where you're trying to like prep food and get ready and time things. And then if you cut like 5 steaks out of a roast, they're not all going to weigh the same. So then you have to add something else in, so many ounces of shrimp or some other can of tuna, or it gets to be where there's a lot more involved into that. So what I did is I sat down and came up with a plan for what I'm going to do going forward. Costco is kind of like my go-to for food. I could buy everything in bulk. Well, you can get really lean ground beef there. You just have to ask for it. They basically take super lean ground beef and they mix it with like trimmings, and that's how they come up with their 8812 ground beef. Well, you can get a 10-pound tube of 95.5 beef that's already ground, and it's not any more expensive than the regular ground beef, but it's just super lean. So anyway, I'm going to eat 2 pounds of that a day. And I'm going to eat 6 eggs. That's it. So I'm going to continue with my other supplementation, like the 2 servings of the Optimal Aminos, and I'm going to continue with the 5 grams of creatine every day. This past week I didn't take any creatine, so I'm also concerned. I didn't work out, so I just kind of, like I said, threw in the towel. So I'm going to start taking the creatine again every day. I should just kept taking it, because it doesn't matter if you work out or not. It's more about just having the levels, consistent in your body, so that, it does something whenever you, demand something of yourself. So anyway, I'm going to simplify my diet so it's super stupid easy. I did the ground beef in the beginning of this diet, and it worked out really well. I just did 1/2 pound or 1 pound burgers. I was playing around a lot with fasting in the beginning, doing like OMAD, and occasionally I still do OMAD, but it's usually not intentional. It's more like I didn't prep my food, so I'm gonna wait till I get home from work and then eat all my food in a couple hours. So I'm not gonna fast. I think my main goal with losing weight has always been to maintain muscle. I mean, gaining muscle would be great, but realistically, if you can just maintain what muscle you have while losing body fat, that's winning. So that's kind of like my focus. And I've done weight loss, I've done this to myself before, gained weight and decided I'm not happy with myself, and lost weight. And last time I did keto diet, and I did like 16-8 intermittent fasting with around 180 to 200 grams of protein, which some people in the keto world would say it's still too much. But for me, it wasn't, because I was losing like weight. I lost a lot of weight in a short period of time, but I did lose a lot of muscle too. And that's why this time around I've put a big emphasis on keeping my protein up around 250 grams, just because of my body size, and so I think at a minimum you should eat like a gram of protein per pound of desired body weight. So I don't necessarily want to weigh 250 pounds. My goal is, I think, I've been thinking about that a lot lately too, and I think my goal is around 210, 200 to 220. I don't know. Ultimately, it's really just about getting really like fit. I don't know how fit I want to get, because I've never been super fit, like, washboard abs or anything. And at this point in my life, I'm 41 years old. I'm probably not going to get great abs anyway. I'm getting old. I'm probably going to have some loose skin. So anyway, the goal is just to get like to a low body fat. I'd love to try to be single-digit body fat. Just never have been in my life. So that's always been kind of in the back of my mind, sort of my goal. but I don't know how realistic it is, so I don't want to set that as the goal and then frustrate myself by falling short. Ultimately, the goal is just to get into as good a shape as I can while maintaining a physique that's not hard to maintain. I can still have fun. I can still do normal things. I'm not just living to eat like a bird. Because for me and my body type, I can put on weight really easy, which is good. If I lift weights and I eat, I gain muscle. I also gain fat pretty easy too. And so I've never been a naturally lean person. So when I want to get in shape, I have to eat like less food, and that kind of sucks. Like sometimes I wish I was one of those people that like had the problem of, I always have a six pack, and if I want to gain any muscle, I got to eat like truckloads of food and force feed myself. I mean, I think everybody would kind of like to have that problem until you're that person. So anyway, maybe it's a blessing and a curse to have it either way, but for me, I don't have to eat a ton of food to put on weight, good weight or bad weight. It's just a matter of what I eat determines what I gain or how much more I eat than I should. So anyway, just to I'm starting to ramble on. I'm amazing at that if you haven't figured it out yet. So anyhow, just a general recap. Last week, disastrous, didn't work out, didn't do anything. Diet was atrocious. Ultimately, I'm kind of shocked at how little weight I gained. I'm pretty actually satisfied with with the outcome. I really thought I was going to be hitting that like 270 mark. Goal going forward, like I said, I'm going to eat 2 pounds of this 95.5 lean ground beef. I'm going to make burgers out of it and 6 eggs a day. I'm going to probably do half-pound burgers, so I'm probably going to do 4 meals split up throughout a 12-hour window. So I guess technically I'm still fasting probably 12 hours a day. So my eating window is going to be like 6 a.m. until like 6 p.m., and so it's still sort of like intermittent fasting, but some people, especially anybody hardcore into fasting, is going to say a 12-hour fasting window is nothing, and sure, it's really not in the world of fasting, but I think for sparing muscle, I think it makes sense to keep a constant flow of food to feed the muscles. And if you're eating all your food at once, I just don't think it makes a lot of logic. It's not logical to me that eating 2 pounds of food at one time, 2 pounds of meat at one time is going to somehow trickle into my body all throughout the day, and I'm not going to go without nourishment. And then I know some people say, when you fast, your growth hormone goes up, and that's muscle sparing, and I kind of call BS on that too. I mean, you can't just pump your body full of growth hormone and not eat and think you're going to not lose muscle. It just doesn't make any logical sense. All the growth hormone in the world's not going to make your body, prevent your body from becoming catabolic if you're not eating enough protein. And I think that eating it all at one time, I think there's enough evidence out there to indicate that that's not the ideal way to gain muscle or maintain muscle, especially in a huge deficit. So anyway, I don't want to ramble on anymore about it, but that's the goal for next week. I've already bought the food. I'm going to prep food tomorrow. That's going to be the goal, Monday through Friday, 2 pounds of this ultra lean beef, 6 eggs a day, and that's it. It's real simple. And I'm going to just salt and pepper at the most for seasonings. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. I'm going to get back on board with my lifting, with my walking. Basically, I'm just going to, put my nose back to the grindstone and keep it really simple. I'd really like to try to get close to my goal within the year mark, and I'm running out of time. The time's just going by, and right now I've been pretty stagnant in progress. So anyway, it's time to get serious, and the easiest way for me to do that in my circumstances right now is to keep everything really simple, and manage my time really well. That's been another problem for me with some situations that I have going on at home. My time of free time is even less than normal, which has never been really great. And so, for me to get my walks in, it's difficult to, do everything I need to do around the house and still do everything. But I can do it. I just have to be a little more disciplined, and I want that. So anyway, that's it for this week. Sorry for the long video. Next week I'll try to keep it short and sweet, and hopefully there'll be some great results to come along with it. And if you guys have any questions about anything, feel free to ask questions. I try to reply to everybody. And hopefully these videos are informative and maybe help other people that are on a similar journey. And that's all I got, guys. So if you like the video, please like, share, subscribe. It helps out the channel. And I'll see you guys next week. Take care.